Hi YouTube, it's Hannah from Smilegish again, and I'm filming a video that I'm going to make massive apologies in advance because this is going to be a long one. First, can I say, how hot is it today? How hot? I'm sat in my bedroom and I can feel the heat. Now, I'm considering doing some kind of really impressive video, at least be a blog post, where I sort of do one half high street and the other half high end, because these days I do have a full makeup shebang. That involves me being a lot braver. Sorry, my hair is so long at the moment, it's annoying me. Anyway, onto the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my two favourite products, in some cases my only products, from a different category of makeup, and sort of have a high end and a high street example and sort of compare them. So it's going to be very long. And when I say high end, stuff you could still get theoretically on the high street from Debenhams or Selfridges, so MAC, Urban Decay, Benefit, Estee Lauder, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, onto the makeup. So first, why not talk about foundation? I've got two types of foundation here to talk about. One is sort of a more matte sort of finish, and the other one is a slightly more dewy, long-lasting sort of natural finish. For matte, I have the Estee Lauder Double Wear and the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Foundation. So the colour I have for the Estee Lauder is 1N1 Ivory Nude, and this colour is number 10 Porcelain. First thing I'm going to say here is that this, I think, is too dark for me. When I put it on my face, it always looks a bit orangey and I get tide lines, which is not a good look, as you are aware. So that already gives this one, like, a negative points. And I'm not sure in this particular formula they have any lighter colours, so I couldn't really get a lighter one to see. But for the actual formula, you have to be very quick when you're using it, but I can't fault the formula. It stays in place, it pretty much stays matte, and it's pretty long lasting. It's just a bugger to apply. Whereas this one is pretty similar actually with application. You have to apply it pretty fast. And with both of these you could almost get away without wearing powder. Almost. If you're like me, you'll still need some powder on your T-zone. But this one has a nice finish. You have to be careful because you tend to get brush strikes, in my opinion. Both of these are probably best applied using a sort of... Both of these are probably best applied using a beauty blender type sponge. So that's those ones. Sort of more natural, dewy, I guess, finish. I have these two, and these two are probably my current favourite foundations. We got the MAC Pro Longwear SPF 10 foundation. I've got NC15, and Maybelline Superstay Beta Skin in light beige. These foundations are both pretty good. This one is slightly more long lasting. I think you get what you pay for when it comes to bases. But this one is a surprisingly good foundation actually, for being a high street foundation. It's in a glass bottle. But I would say with this one, high end slightly wins out. If you can afford to invest in a foundation from a high end brand, I would go for it. I'm going to use up this one. I want to try the Skin Base from Illamasqua. I tried Oxygen Wow from Benefit that I love for a while, but I get the feeling it's a bit dark for me actually. Especially now I've reverted a bit to go into the old pale thing. So yeah, but these are both good foundations, so it's a close one, but high end wins. Next, concealer. I actually have 4 here, so I've gone for a creamy sort of balm concealer that you get from a stick, and then a more liquid that you have to either apply with a brush or straight from the tube. So for the sort of balm concealers, I don't particularly like either of these anymore, but I have Kick-Ass concealer from Soap & Glory in the shade Light, and Benefit Fake Up concealer in Light. Now these are both pretty good. You see the Benefit Fake Up concealer is nice because it has like skincare around the edge. You can't really see because I've used this one so much, but if you see that the outside is like white, that's like a balmy skincare. And the Soap & Glory one is just like a crayon. And they're both pretty good matches. I would say the Benefit one's a little on the dark side, and they're both creamy, but I find they crease quite badly. So I don't know. I would say this one is just as good as this one, actually. This has the Benefit of skincare, but I think that makes it less easy to apply. And this one, I think, is slightly better to apply. So yeah. Then, for my other ones, I have the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer in Porcelain and Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay in Light Warm. Now, I think I would go for either a neutral or cool next time I buy this, but this is still pretty good. And I must say, I realise at the moment that e.l.f. is very difficult to get in the UK because the website closed, etc. But they are coming back, so I'm still going to talk about this. This one is, when I say maximum coverage, they mean maximum coverage. You could use it in place of like an actual base if you really wanted to, I think. And I don't particularly like this one, which is why I've got so much left. This one, however, is my current favourite. You'll remember that I think I mentioned it in a favourites last month, I think. So yeah, but this one's really good. So on that note, high-end wins. Keeping on the base theme, powder! Now, these two products, I'm having a hard time choosing between them. I have the Mineralised Skin Finish from MAC in Light Plus. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I have the One Heck of a Blot by Soap & Glory, which only comes, I believe, in the one shade. But I've hit pan. I have a really hard time choosing between these. I'm not going to say they're completely cakeless because I think I just get powder. I just get a little bit of cakeage when I put powder on. But they're minimal cakeage, I'm going to say. Minimal cakeage. And they work really well and they last really long. I think this one actually lasts a smidge longer than this one. But this one gives a nicer finish to the skin. Because this one is totally matte. Whereas if you know anything about the mineralised skin finishes, they haven't... You're going to see how I describe it. They haven't ever so slightly shimmery, sheeny, like just very slightly shimmery, sheeny finish, which I think, as I say, mineralised skin finish natural, I think it does look slightly better than the full out flat cakey matteness of Soap & Glory. For that reason and that reason alone, high end will win this time. Urgh. Blush! I'm using my current favourite colour, which is peachy, so I've got Illamasqua versus Makeup Revolution. That is the Illamasqua powder blush in Lover. It's a lovely sort of peachy shade. And then the Makeup Revolution powder blush in Love. So weirdly, Lover and Love. And I would say that might be a purposeful thing by Makeup Revolution, because if I can open it up again, they're very similar shades. Makeup Revolution is slightly darker, but they're very similar shades, so almost a dupe. But I'm going to say Illamasqua wins on this one. The high end wins here, because I think this blusher is long lasting, it's more pigmented, it's easier to use. This one is very, very good. I'm going to say this is very, very good. There are some very, very good blushes on the high street at the moment. Some of them are a bit chalky though. And I tend to gravitate towards blushes that have no shimmer at all, and I think it's a lot harder to find a decent matte blush on the high street. However, Makeup Revolution ones are very good, but I prefer my high-end blushes, so high end wins the blush. Let's go to eyes, and first we'll talk about eyeshadow. And I have, well really, I have my MAC shadows, but I also, because, you know, I have to talk about my Urban Decay shadows. So this is the high end here. Ooh, let's hold it up the right way. High end here. And high street is Makeup Revolution. This was out because I love it at the moment. I'm wearing it right now. But Makeup Revolution for the high street. Now, eyeshadow, it's so difficult because there's so many different eyeshadows. Like, every brand has got this finish and that palette and this. So I think recently eyeshadows on the high street has exploded. For that reason, I'm actually going to give this one to the High Street. Let me tell you why. This is my MAC palette that I've put together myself. I've depotted some of these, and some of these I bought straight as the Pro Palette refills. All of these shadows in here, I love them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought them. But some MAC shadows, you know, they're not worth the price. This is, I can't remember what it's called. This is not Carbon, is my point. This is a different black. I'll put it in the description when I remember what it is. Carbon from MAC, I think, is awful. It's chalky, there's no pigment to it, I just hate it. Whereas, there are colours that I've used from Makeup Revolution, from Makeup MUA, that are just, they just blow the black from MAC out of the water. So some MAC shadows, for example, I think are rubbish, and I've swatched some, I think, Dior and Chanel shadows before, and Estee Lauder shadows. They're not good. You pay for the name and for the packaging. Urban Decay shadows, however, all of the ones I've tried are just phenomenal, and this black is the business. Blackout from the Naked 2 is the business, and my Glinda palette and my Theodora palette are also just phenomenal, and they're buttery soft and brilliant. However, pretty much every shadow, and I've got quite a collection of Makeup Revolution palettes now. I have quite a few Makeup Academy palettes now. What other shadows have I got from the High Street? They're good. MUA, Makeup Revolution, Collection Work, the colour palettes, and they're fantastic. They are really, really good. A little bit chalky at times, maybe a little bit powdery, prone to fallout. My sleek palettes that I don't have as many of anymore, they were very much prone to fallout, but they are fantastic for the money. So for this reason, the High Street is getting the prize for eyeshadow. Yay! Next up, we're going to talk eyeliner. So I have, let's talk liquid first. I don't use like liquid like the ones that I have, a couple of them, but I find them really difficult. You know, the dip pots with the, my love is these felt tip liners. Like this, okay? This one will be familiar if you read my blog. It's the Soap & Glory Super Cat liner. And I think it's just in one colour, which is just liquid black, sort of blackest black. And this used to be my holy grail of holy grails. This used to be my favourite liquid liner in the entire history of the planet. You would prize it out of my cold dead hands, kind of thing. Beautiful. But here is my Urban Decay ink for eyes. It's only a little one because I got it in the sort of special offer Little Perversions set. But look how thin it is. Compare it to Super Cat. How thin the Urban Decay is compared to it. Yeah? So it's so much easier for someone with ham fists like me to get a really precise flick. Don't use my eyeliner today as an example because it was a bit of a disaster. But I'm giving this to the high end. I'm sorry, Soap & Glory, I still love you, but I'm giving it to high end. Then we're going to talk sort of other types of liner. So we're going to talk pencil. And I have two. These are again from Urban Decay. I should have picked up my Lancome pencil, but I haven't properly used it yet. So I've got the All Nighter eyeliner and the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. Okay. And then for repping the High Street, I have Makeup Revolution All Day and Night and Soap & Glory Small Decol. I just chose black so I can just compare them. I do have other ones, other colours, especially from Soap & Glory, that are pretty good. But I'm going to have to hand it to the higher end ones again, because these are brilliant, but they just don't stay. Whereas these stay pretty well. I have ridiculously, I think, oily or watery eyes. I must have oily or watery eyes because I have the hardest time making my eyeliner stay where I put it before it just comes down my face, smudges all over my eyes, and it just looks like an absolute disaster every time. But it lasts longer when I use my high-end ones, so I'm sorry, High Street, but for that reason I'm giving eyeliner to the high-end. Now is mascara, and I've got Perversion by Urban Decay and Miss Manga Mega Volume Black Angel mascara from L'Oreal as my High Street. Now I do love a High Street mascara. I love Maybelline Plush Falsies, I think it's called, you know, the blue one. And I love some of the MUA mascaras, and I love Bourjois, the volumizer or something, where you have the two different settings for the brush. I love those. But I love this mascara. I also love Bad Girl Lash from Benefit. I also love the Full Size Effect Black, whatever it's called, from MAC that I've tried. And I love the Lancome Hypnose Drama. This is my current favourite mascara. I use it on its own. I use it with the Subversion sort of primer coat. If you can see, this is the kind of brush that I tend to like, sort of big and bushy and almost clumpy, but not. And I'm giving it to Urban Decay. I'm giving it to the high end. I have used plenty of high street mascaras that I've hated with a passion. They've been crap. They've not gone on properly. I just can't. I have used less high-end mascaras that have had the same effect, that have had the same reaction. For that reason, I'm giving mascara to the high end. More categories, okay? Oh no, sorry, I've got 3 more categories. So, lipstick. As you can tell, lipstick is something I love. This is basically MAC and Illamasqua versus the high street. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, high street lipsticks are fantastic if you want to experiment. Makeup Revolution and MUA especially do some brilliant kinds of lipstick. Makeup Revolution are fantastic if you want some crazy colours, you know, some weirder colours. Makeup MUA is if you want to experiment with an orange or a red or something like that. And in my opinion, the best pure lipsticks on the high street are from Revlon. And I mean, their matte balms are some of my favourite lip products ever in the entire history of the world. And their normal lipsticks, this one that comes with, you know, the classic Revlon lipstick, I think is one of the best formulas that you can buy, full stop. And of course you've got the lip butters and stuff like that from Revlon. I don't particularly like those, but I know that there are tons of people that do. So I think Revlon clears the high street for lipsticks. I also think Soap and Glory lip products are fantastic. This is one of the matte coat, powder coat, whatever you call it, lipsticks. They also do the normal ones, and they have the lip glosses and everything, and I think they're fantastic. MAC and Illamasqua, you could get lost, and I know people that do get lost in the lipstick counters. They just have so many shades. MAC have sort of less, I guess, crazy shades. Every now and again they come out with a collection with a crazy shade, whereas Illamasqua, I just broke my Illamasqua lipstick. It's one of my favourites. Illamasqua, I think, have slightly, even though I'm really boring and I picked up just a red, have more of the crazy, weird colours. So I'm going to give it to the high street from the sheer point that experimentation will cost less. And not all of the high street lipsticks are brilliant, and they're all going to kind of be good for doing a look or maybe for Halloween, and you're not going to want to wear, I would wear this out in public, but I know a lot of people wouldn't. But the high street gives you that choice, it gives you the ability to do that, so I'm going to give this one to the high street. My last pure makeup item is lip liner. Now, we're wearing red or purple lipstick, something like that. I think it's MAC is the high-end ones, because I don't own any other lip liners from high-end. And this is my Barry M, but I do have a few other high street lip liners. Now, Barry M are really good. They're another one that's pretty good for lots of different products with lots of different colours at a reasonably decent price. MAC, on the other hand, have pretty much the same. They have less lip liners than lipsticks, eyeshadows, blah, whatever else. But I think they last longer. However, for sheer affordability and availability, I'm giving this one to the high street. Bam! High end. Finally, nail nail polish. Now, I wish there was a way for me to turn this laptop around without it being really, really ridiculous, because I have an insane amount of nail polish. I love nail polish. As you can see, I'm wearing, I think I've worn a different colour nail polish in every YouTube video I've done so far, and that will continue. But I have two from the high street. Now, I'm just going to straight up and say this, I'm giving this to high end, but I'll explain why. These, Essence and Barry M, are some of the best nail polishes I've used on the high street. The brush in Essence is just fantastic. It's just really big, so you can almost coat your nail with one stroke. And I find the formula on Barry M tends to be good. But some of the Barry M nail polishes just don't want to dry on my nails. And some of the high street nail polishes I've tried have been, I have not wanted to use them ever again. So if they're still in my collection, that's because they're lovely and they fill a gap of a colour I don't have. Illamasqua nail varnishes, of which I have 11 and want more, are just a dream. A dream to apply, a dream to remove. They stay a long time. They've got such beautiful colours. Most of the colours you get away with wearing one coat. They're just fantastic, well worth the ridiculous price point. So that is my video. I didn't keep a tally. I was going to talk about brushes, but I realised I pretty much just have Real Techniques and e.l.f. brushes with a few Model's Own scattered in, so I can't really talk high-end brushes. But I will say that I know people say, oh, you need to get MAC, you need to get Shiseido, you need to get all of these brushes. I personally don't think so. I think Real Techniques are fantastic. I think Model's Own brushes are actually brilliant. And for eyeshadow application, you can't get better than a series of e.l.f. brushes. So while you wouldn't want to get, I wouldn't tell you to go and get Boots Own brand or Superdrug Own brand, Primark makeup brushes. I'm sure some people say they're brilliant, but for me personally, I don't like them at all. I think you can get decent brushes from the high street, but I've never used a high-end brush, so that's why I'm not including them. I hope you enjoyed this incredibly mammothly long video. I'm looking at the timer here, and even though I know it's before editing, eek! And I hope to see you soon. I will be doing a favourites video in the next few days, and please check out my blog because I'll do my Monday music post tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for watching YouTube. Bye!